See, folks, there are some issues that are more important than others. The Bill of Rights, that's at the top of the list. And so when senators make procedural votes in order to hide behind them or to pretend they just want to increase debate when in fact they're doing the opposite and so forth, I can never support them again. First of all, the Senate shouldn't be voting on the Second Amendment. They're not a constitutional convention. But John McCain doesn't understand the Constitution. John McCain doesn't care about the Constitution. I'm not saying he's not patriotic. Obviously he is. He fought for his country and so forth. But as a politician, he has done more damage to the Constitution than most other politicians. And I think he does it out of complete stupidity and stubbornness. It's a pathetic, sad thing to watch. I also think Lindsey Graham is a very stupid man. And I think stupidity reigns on Capitol Hill, stupidity and ideology of the left. And also, as I sit here and I think through some of this stuff, it's amazing when you think of this Obamacare law. Do you realize that Mitt Romney couldn't even run against Obamacare other than to say he would repeal it? Do you realize he never articulated why he would repeal it? Because the state should make these decisions, or the people should make these decisions? There are 1,000 reasons to repeal Obamacare, and it turns out they're in the law. They're in Obamacare. There were 1,000 campaign commercials in that law that the man could have run. The problem is, he created his own Obamacare in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and no matter how many people deny it, Coulter or all the rest, it's the truth. And so the biggest issue we had to use against Obama, where the people hate Obamacare, we should have unraveled it, we should have cut it up like one piece of salami at a time and served it up, and we couldn't even do it. And now look at the Republicans on Capitol Hill. Look at them. We should be doing everything humanly possible with Robert's Rules of Order, parliamentary moves, everything possible to slow down this president and his agenda. Instead, what happens? They go on Senator Manchin's boat, the black tie. They have some drinks. They're cutting deals. Cutting deals over what? Over the Second Amendment? I despise these people. And the older I get, the more I despise them. There was no reason whatsoever for these 16 Republicans in the Senate to join with the Democrats. None. 7 of them from solid red or red enough southern states. 2 from Georgia. 2 from Tennessee, 1 from South Carolina, 1 from Mississippi. Let me tell you something, folks. All these people need to be challenged. All these people need to be defeated. This isn't some little issue. This is the Bill of Rights. No principles? No principles. What the hell are these senators doing? Seriously, what are they doing? They know damn well that none of this is going to protect anybody from anything. None of it. Didn't take this iota from New Hampshire long, did it? Not long at all, freshman. Didn't take this flake from Arizona long, did it? Threw right in. You folks, you ought to run against these people in these Republican primaries. You ought to look at the House seats. You look at the Senate seats. Yeah, you may lose. You may get whipped. But it's a way to have a public forum to challenge these people. I'm for opening this process up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm for breaking the back of the ruling class, or as I call them, the governing masterminds. It's time. It's time. The country's going to hell. It's time to remove them. It's time to fight them politically. And the only way to do it's from the bottom up at the grassroots, not at the top down. Not from the top down. I supported, in the Republican primary, J.D. Hayworth against John McCain. I think I was the only conservative on national radio, or national conservative at all, to support J.D. Hayworth, who was solid on all these issues. But he was attacked by the inside the Beltway putative conservatives, by Republican donors, by the same people who seek to wipe out the Tea Party. We can't find a candidate, apparently, to go up against Lindsey Graham. In South Carolina, for crying out loud. Lamar Alexander from Tennessee. You can never count on this guy. Corker from Tennessee. A more arrogant man who has no reason to be arrogant I've yet to see. What the hell good is he in the U.S. Senate, ladies and gentlemen? These are conservative seats that these fools hold. Isaacson, what an empty suit. He's retiring. Chambliss, what a joke this man's become. And Wicker, a new kind of Republican, from Mississippi, a new kind of Republican. Well, what kind is that? A sellout, that's what kind. They complain, folks. They complain how we can't win elections. But what do they do when they do win elections? Everything's up for grabs. I'm not going to always agree with all these men and women. That's not the test. I'm not going to always agree. I supported Orrin Hatch in Utah. He's done a number of things I haven't supported. But when it came to the Second Amendment and the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, the man stood firm. And the bottom line is, the Constitution is not up for grabs. No, it's not. Meanwhile, how did the four Tea Party conservatives hold up? Once again, they led the fight. Once again, Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, and Rand Paul, and Marco Rubio. Not going to always agree with Marco Rubio, or anybody else for that matter, or members of my family for that matter. But the fact of the matter is, these men are standing firm. Oh, yes, they are. And so, 16 Republicans in the Senate. This is why it's so foolish to make donations to these Republican institutions in Washington, D.C., the RNC, what the hell are they? The Republican Senatorial Campaign Committee, the National Congressional Campaign Committee. What the hell? You ought to pick the individual candidates you support and give them money. Don't give it to the bureaucracy. It's pointless, utterly pointless. I look at this guy Toomey in Pennsylvania. What has the man done, actually? You know what's interesting? As a native of Pennsylvania, a native of Philadelphia, who grew up in the Philadelphia suburbs, I remember Dick Schweiker, Republican senator. Very liberal. I never liked him, and I never voted for him. There were two issues the man never moved on. Never. He never voted for gun control, and he never voted to repeal the death penalty. Never, because he knew that conservative and moderate Democrats, blue-collar Democrats, Many suburban Republicans, these were important issues to them. And what does Toomey do? Toomey raises his hand and he says, hey, I'll work out a deal with Manchin. Let's go on his boat. I'll work out a deal. I don't consider this gun control. Notice how they twist and they spin and they lie. I don't consider this gun control. Gives a damn what you consider it, Senator. He has faith in a centralized, all-powerful federal government run by Barack Obama, and on the Justice Department side, run by Eric Holder, and on the DHS side, run by Napolitano. I have no faith in these people, none. You would think now, if ever, that a so-called conservative Republican in the Senate would have learned the lesson that this president cannot be relied on to follow the law, that this attorney general cannot be relied on to follow the law, that, damn it, the whole damn federal government can't be relied on to follow the law. They're always looking for loopholes they talk about, to limit our liberty. And it's getting worse. Oh, we cut a deal. Oh, wonderful. Oh, there'll never be any registration. Don't worry about that. Sure. And there'll never be national health care, and they'll never have a database with our health information on it. Oops, there is one. How did that happen? Oh, the black helicopter guys. You jerk, Biden. You think the founding fathers were black helicopter guys? You think the states that demanded a Bill of Rights because they were concerned about the federal government were black helicopter guys, Mr. 14 IQ? Mr. I have to cheat my way through school? All right.